Good evening and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Dithmini De Silva.
Newsfirst headline.
Chief Justice clarifies judiciary's role amidst parliamentary concerns. Special incentives to non-ex public officials who reported to duty. In news overseas, India suspends 6 police government officials for stampede that killed 121. And from the 2024 Paris Olympics, Yusufi named in gender-equal Afghanistan team. The news in detail. In a communication address to the Speaker, Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya underscored that the judiciary bears the solemn responsibility of exercising public jurisdiction across all domains, excluding members of Parliament's privileges and powers. This notification comes in response to concerns raised by Minister of Justice Dr. Vijaydas Rajapaksa, who highlighted breaches of parliamentary privileges resulting from specific court actions. Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya emphasizes that according to the Constitution, the judicial power of the people is exercised by the Parliament through the courts. He notes that the direct exercise of this power by Parliament is limited to its own powers and privileges and those of its members. In a letter addressed to the Speaker, Chief Justice Jayasuriya highlighted the responsibility of all sectors to protect and ensure the independence of the judiciary, essential for the proper exercise of judicial power. For more on this story, visit www.newsfirst.lk. In more local news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe's proposal to the Cabinet to grant a special pay increment to non-executive government officials who reported for duty on the 8th and 9th of July 2024 has been approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. The President's Media Division said that the President also proposed to issue the non-executive government officials who reported for duty a commendation certificate for future promotions, and that too was approved by the Cabinet. In other local news, 7 people have been arrested in connection with the shooting of businessman Surendra Vasantha Pereira, alias Club Vasantha, and several others. Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Thennakoon says the shooting was carried out under the direction of 2 persons staying overseas. The IGP says the 7 suspects had aided in providing the vehicles that were used for the shooting. He further says 5 police teams are investigating the incident under the direction of the Deputy Inspector General of Police of the Western South Division. A 37-year-old man named Nayana Vasula Vijayasuriya, a resident of Ratuvilwatta, Atturugiriya, and Club Vasantha died in the shooting that took place at a business establishment at the Atturugiriya junction yesterday. For more on this story, watch our primetime news on TV1 and visit www.newsfirst.lk.
International news.
Indian authorities have suspended 6 police and government officials after a stampede that killed 121 people last week, accusing them of negligence in handling the event featuring a Hindu preacher. One of India's worst stampedes in recent years took place after about 250,000 people flocked to listen to a self-styled guru, far in excess of the number of 80,000 authorities had permitted. Today's preliminary findings of a panel investigating the incident held the event organizers responsible, saying they failed to meet conditions set for the gathering.
Sports news.
Kimia Yusufi will represent the stolen dreams and aspirations of Afghanistan's women after being named in the nation's 6-person team for the Paris 2024 Olympics. The 100-meter sprinter was Afghanistan's flag bearer at the Tokyo Games 3 years ago, but fled her home country to neighboring Iran to escape persecution when the Taliban returned to power in August 2021. The 28-year-old was one of 5 athletes and administrators, plus families, with ties to the Olympic movement who received safe passage into Australia a year later. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Dithmini De Silva.